Hello and welcome to my channel. This is another in my St. Patrick's Day 2018 card series. This is going to be a really short video, and when I show you how I developed this card, you're going to think that I have totally gone over the deep end, but it was a lot of fun, and sometimes you just have to have fun with things. So let me move this out of the way and show you this card. The inks I'm using today is going to be Memento Cottage Ivy and Versafine Onyx Black. I'm also going to be using these colored pencils. These are watercolored pencils, but I'm not going to be adding any water because the item is so small, and I think I can achieve the proper blending just with the pencils alone. I'm also going to be using a Spectrum Noir sparkle pen and a Wink of Stella gold glitter brush. Now, I'm also going to be using some rhinestones, and I have wood grain washi tape. Now, the surprising item for this card design is this. I got this from the dollar store. This is a holiday Mardi Gras beads, and it said Happy St. Patrick's Day. And I looked at it and I thought, I bet you I could just make a card out of that. So this basically is pretty much set together the way I needed it to be. It has the embellishments of the shamrocks, and all the letters are together, and it's blocked and easy to read, so I just cut scissors and cut all the words out that I needed and put them together that way. So that's a crazy thing to do, but I just looked at it and looked beyond what I saw and thought of how I could use it in a design. Let me know what you think down below. If you think this is totally over the top, I won't be mad. It's all right. Okay, I'm going to show you the watercoloring of the little leprechaun guys. But basically, this is super simple to do. So let me move this out of the way and get started on the rest of the card. I forgot to mention the stamp set. This is Lucky Friends stamp set with dies by Heffy Doodle, and I got this from Urban Scrapbookers in Edmonds, but this is available online, and probably you could get it at other stamp supply stores. All right, first I'm going to do my stamping of my little leprechauns and their beverage of choice. So I'm using the Versafine for this. And since I'm not using my Misty tool, I have to be sure that I get a good thick stamp imprint from the first time, because I can't do this again easily. Okay, that's good. I'll clean all these stamps later. I'm running out of blocks because I have so many stamps scattered all across the table outside of camera. And I'm getting down to the lower ones now. So that's why I'm using this giant one for just this little leprechaun guy. So I need both leprechauns and 2 of the beer mugs. And I'll just stick them right here in the center. One there. And one there. So while this dries, I'll clean my stamps off. Okay, these are the colors that I'm going to be using. I have these 2 greens set aside because these are the greens that I'm going to be using for their shirt, and I don't want to confuse it with the greens for the jacket area because they're very close together. Watercoloring with pencils and also color pencils, the technique is the same. You start with the lightest color and then you go all over, which I will just illustrate quickly on this guy's hat. So I'm just laying a thin layer of the lightest color. And then you take the medium color and you blend in from both sides, the left and the right. And you leave the area in the center light, and this creates a natural highlight. And I'll do the same thing on the brim. Okay. And now you take the darkest color and you just blend in from the left side only, and you try to focus along where you think the shadowing would be. So the shadowing would be along the brim edge here, and along the top here and along the side. So the light is coming from this direction. Okay, and then you take the lightest color again, and in circular motions you blend it all out together. And the light color acts as a blending tool. You could also use a blender pen for blending colored pencils or watercolor pencils, but I don't need it here. And since this, as I said, since this is such a small area, I'm not going to add water to it, but the water addition would blend all the colors even more, and it would be completely seamless if there are 3 different colors here, and you would see the natural highlights. So I'm going to go through and do all of the coloring for these little guys, and I'll let the music play. Okay, that's all the watercoloring. Sorry for this noise. Move this out of the way. Okay, so if you wanted to, you could go and blend it out with water, but I think this is fine just like this, so I'm not going to bother with it. All right, now I'm going to take the, excuse me, reaching through here, the matching die cuts that I have. This is the standing leprechaun and the sitting leprechaun and his mug of Guinness. Okay, now I'm going to run this through the die cut. If you did not have the die cuts, of course you could get a pair of scissors and fussy cut it out, but I have the die cut, so I'm going to use it. Be right back. Now that I have the little guys cut out, I need to do a little bit of surgery on them. Now this die cut, it's not easy to see, but his little hands have been cut out by the die cut. Let me hold it up, see if you can see it. Maybe, almost. So that is to allow him to hold his little pint. So I'm just going to take this X-Acto knife and carefully poke through the arms, but not too much. Just get a little bit. And then we're going to tuck the little beer right up between his hands. So he's sitting there holding his little pint in his lap, I guess to make sure that no one comes and steals it. And I want it to stay put. So I'm going to bring in some multimedia matte, and my jar is almost empty, so got to give it a couple of taps to get it started. I'm just going to put a little dab up in there, right behind the foam. Ooh, it really doesn't want to go. I'm going to use my Tombow. As my grandma used to say, one monkey don't stop no show. Okay, and that was too much glue, so let's get that off of there. So that way he won't lose his beer. All right, and this guy needs a little bit more surgery because he needs to hold his beer in his outstretched hand. So I'm going to have to cut a slit in the handle so that I could slide that beer in there. So 911 people, if you see any blood going across the screen, because I try not to use these because I have a very bad track record with sharp blades. Remind me to tell you the horror story about me and a mandolin one day. For those who don't know, a mandolin is a kitchen tool that you use to shred, slice very thin things like potato slices, etc. Okay, I didn't quite get through. All right, let's see. Yep. Okay, so I'm carefully pushing through a little bit of hole here so I can slide his hand through. And here you go. And there he's holding his mug. But I need his hand to show a little bit. Okay, now again, a little dab of glue. I don't think I put enough. First was too much, now too little. There we go. Now that's again too much, but we'll just deal with that. All right. Now that beer's not going anywhere. And put this away so there won't be any incidents. Okay. Now, next step. Now my next surgery. So I can make 2 cards out of one of these necklaces, I think. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Yes, I can make 2, but I'm just making 1. So I've gotten out my super sharp Tim Holtz scissors, and I'm going to just cut right through the cord. Of course, this would not work if this cord was loose between the letters, but it isn't loose. That was the first thing I tested. So the letters will hold together in place. So there's the day. And there's the Patrick's. And I have a little embellishment there, which I'm not going to use for this. And the Saints, there is a shamrock on both sides, so I'm going to make sure that I keep the shamrock there. There's this one. And then, of course, this just need to cut these little strings. There's that. And last is the happy. I'll put that in the thank you for coming pile and trim these off. There we are, instant letters. Okay, the rest is just going to be assembling this card. I'm going to use this Tombow to hold these letters down because they're kind of heavy, so I need a little bit extra strength. I wouldn't even try to do this with anything less than Tombow. And I'm going to just let the music run and assemble the card. So that's the finished card. Very quick, very easy, and it was just a little bit of surgery on a dollar store necklace, and here you go, instant card. I hope you'll try this yourself. They always have these things in the dollar store, and you can really put together some fantastic cards with just those dollar store items alone. For example, this also was from the dollar store. I'd like to thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel. I'd like to thank you for all the positive comments that I'm getting. I appreciate everything, and I answer them, and I see everything. I'd also like to thank my brother David for the music that he's providing for this channel, and I hope you're enjoying it. This card didn't have a lot of talking, so you got to enjoy nice solitude with his wonderful music. Take care, everyone, and have a great day.